All right, hello and welcome out there to the Holy Hour podcast, the All Cure bi-weekly podcast. We got a bonus episode for you guys this week. We trying to hopefully.
I feel like I should howl at this point.
Yeah, there you go. But speaking of which, Donald is not here to join us. We had to send him on some R&R from the moon to recover, so he's relaxing at the beach. And of course, right when we send him off the moon to recover and have some rest from the moon, it turns out Robert Smith is the moon. And
yes.
So yeah, the whole time he was looking for Robert Smith on the moon, but it turns out all he had to do was look down, apparently, and the moon is Robert Smith. If that makes no sense, we'll elaborate in a few minutes here. So, yes, welcome,
it's
everyone.
It's like that abyss thing.
Yeah.
You stare into the abyss, and it stares right back at you.
Yeah, it was there all along. Isn't there like some meme I saw? Did you post it by any chance of it's like Star Wars, them flying up? It's like, that's no moon, and it's...
No, but I did see that one.
That was making me chuckle. Yeah, lots of chuckling going on. But yeah, so welcome out there and Chaz, and we have a very we figured if you have a Cure podcast and anything new pops up with Robert Smith or the Cure on it, you might as well jump on it, right? So
yeah.
So
I'm really glad that he doesn't post on social media, because we would have to do an episode every other day.
Totally. So yeah, it makes it pretty easy for us. Even this was like, okay, well, we could size this up and get a jump on it just to stay relevant in the times. But we do have a new song of sorts that features our man Robert Smith, and came out last Friday, I guess. So,
yeah.
So yeah, we're talking about the Gorillaz single, Strange Times.
Strange time to see the light.
Off the upcoming album Song Machine. I think the official name's Song Machine, Strange Times. So maybe it's like the title track, technically, I guess. But,
it's got a Z in it, so
yeah,
you know
Times. So
it's going to be good.
Yeah. And the full album's apparently due out on October 23rd. But this song, like 6 previous songs, apparently 6 have already been released, at least according to my iTunes there. It looks like it's gonna be like 17 tracks. So I guess if you got 17 tracks, you can let 7 go before the album even comes out, and it's not a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if this is some crazy Gorillaz style or what, but maybe everybody.
Don't they have videos for everything? I know for at least some of the tracks, this one especially. But I thought in the interview, which we'll get to, but I thought they had said something about doing music videos for a bunch of the tracks, but not all the guests were going to appear on them.
Okay, yeah,
like Robert Smith. So
so he's in a video for this. We got a video, we got a song, we got a remix of it. We got an interview snippet that came along with it. So we're going to try to cover all this. It'll probably be a fairly short episode here. So if we make it past 30 minutes, we'll count it as an official episode. But otherwise, we just wanted to throw it out there and give our 2 cents, since, like I said, we got a podcast about the Cure, you might as well, right? So, but yeah,
that's what I've heard. I've heard we're the number 1 podcast,
the number 1 Cure
for the Cure.
Exactly. So tough competition out there. So, so yeah, this song, I guess, real quick, this album that it's part of, like we were saying, I mean, most Gorillaz stuff, if you're not familiar, is collaboration based, but this one is totally focusing on guest, artists coming in on every song. And of the previous 6 that have been released, there's gonna be an Elton John one that hasn't come out yet. Saint Vincent, I think, is on one of the artists. There's a Peter Hook one. Have you listened to that one by any chance?
I didn't, but I saw it this morning.
Yeah,
and,
it's
I was like,
cool.
I should really listen to that.
Yeah,
and I just never got around to it.
It's pretty solid. It's definitely got his kind of signature bass style and pretty
I was gonna ask if
melody.
Did he sing on it at all?
No, it has another person that I didn't quite jot down who it was is doing vocals, so it's like Peter Hook and somebody else are the guest on it. So, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty chill. And then like Octavian and Schoolboy Q, who I have no clue who
They're my
any of these-
favorite.
Yeah, I feel like they're like all the real stars of the album. They're like these super hip, like mega popular artists that I have no clue who they are. I'm like, Elton John and Robert Smith are on it. So yeah, it's worth checking out. But I guess just Gorillaz in general before we dive into the song. Damon Albarn from Blur and Jamie Hewlett, artist, which I just found out is Tank Girl. You familiar with Tank Girl?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
Had a girlfriend that was really into that. In high school. So
Nice.
just like every alternative, girl at the time or relationship at the time.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
Or felt like.
Yeah, very, very popular amongst the bookstore crowd that I worked with.
Yeah.
So, so we were talking briefly before we hit record here, but you're not a big Gorillaz fan right off the top, or just
You know what? I like some of their radio stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a big fan, and I'm sure the fans of the band are like, well, you got to listen to like the deep cuts and stuff like that, which I'm sure, well, okay, but I just never got into it. There's so much music that like I still have never touched that I have on my list for the quarantine that I haven't even begun to get into. Still haven't done the Sonic Youth thing.
Well, there's still time.
I was just like, fuck, it's getting late in the game.
Yeah, well, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, the fall's just starting, so.
I always enjoyed the music videos.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of animation. I'm not like a geek about it, and I'm not a big comic book guy, but like I definitely dig animation.
Yeah.
And it keeps my attention. So
cool.
When I heard about it, I was like, okay. I mean, it doesn't really. I would see it more if he collabed with like Blur than the Gorillaz, but
yeah.
I'm still down with it. It's it's something.
And it's cool that it's different, and it's not like, just some other alternative band or, some young band that clearly even loves them or whatever, it's just like, whoa, all right, that's different, like almost to the point where, my side of it is like Gorillaz, like kind of same with you, those early singles, the first two albums, I think that everybody heard those, like Feel Good, Ink, and Clint Eastwood, and all those are definitely like pretty undeniable, catchy, whatever, even if you didn't really love the full album or anything, those singles are great, and I was a huge Blur fan, or I guess I still am, but they're, I think, officially done now, but yeah, so I always just love the Blur side of the Britpop stuff was totally my jam. I was like, they were right up there with them, like in the 90s and early 2000s there. They were like, totally. And so, but he started to lose me a bit by the end of Blur, even after like Graham, the guitarist, left and stuff. It was kind of like, and he started doing his world music stuff. And just like, it's like, okay. So I never really got into deep cut Gorillaz either. And then like, I didn't realize they have so many albums and kept going.
Yeah, I didn't know that
just
either.
Like, whoa, geez. So, and they're huge. I kind of knew those first two albums blew up, but they're like way bigger than Blur ever got, especially over here. I guess Blur was huge in England and such, but, just the idea of like, Jesus, like triple platinum or something like that, it was like, holy crap. But, so yeah.
I'd like to see like a Blur concert. Like not a Blur concert, I'm sorry. A Gorillaz concert. Like I would love to see the type of diverse crowd that they would bring. I mean, I could probably just do a simple YouTube, I think I'd rather just see it live than anything. But
and I think they've changed it up over the years. Like initially they did all like kind of play behind a screen, and they did the animation and stuff where you didn't even see them. But then I think over the idea. So it's and I think over the years, they've all kind of just it's no big secret who they are and stuff. So I mean, and then like I think I saw some snippet or clip of them playing on Letterman where you could see them all. They had the screen behind them with animation going and stuff, but it was like 1 billion people on the stage with like horns and everything. 20 backup singers and shit. Like,
that's why Slipknot still has the magic. They keep those masks.
Yeah,
on,
maybe. Yeah,
that's why Guar is still pumping out all those hits.
Totally. You can fire everybody and it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, I guess Damon's technically the only real dude in the band. As far I always thought it was.
I don't really know.
Yeah, that's I kind of tried to research that real quick because I assumed there was like a couple other people, but I think just the artist that does the animation's the only one that's considered the other collaborator with him. So that's pretty weird. But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to seen it be more of like a Blur kind of, just like for like a cool pop rock song or something more. But but that's not Gorillaz. So I think it's not. Yeah, it was
never. I was never a Britpop person. I was like around that time when that shit was coming out, I was more into like punk and stuff like that, and like that stuff always seemed kind of boring to me. So I'm like, I'm late to the game, and I just feel like I've wasted my time trying to dive into it anymore. So I mean, there's some stuff I like here and there, and then like when I heard the Gorillaz the first time, somebody was like, "Yeah, this is like Blur's new band," and I was just like, "Oh, okay." So the whole time I assumed it was like the whole band, and they lost one member, or something. Right? So but I definitely enjoyed their hits more than I don't. How many hits did Blur have? Like mega hits. I know they had that song too.
Yeah, that's what's tough is because a lot of them were like their greatest hits and singles collections, like just fucking flawless to me. I think it's great, but like there was only a couple that really broke in the U.S. I think, and they were the later ones. Yeah, I guess like Boys and Girls and Song 2 are probably the biggest ones. Yeah. But then like Park Life was like huge in England, like Park Life and yeah, had a whole bunch of those singles on there. Well, I guess Boys and Girls is on that, but like Universal and some of the slower jams are really huge, I think. But, yeah, coffee and TV and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Anyway,
I think the only reason I'd have to dive into it is if they like went on tour with The Cure or some other band that I liked.
Yeah.
For some reason where I didn't want to be bored the entire concert, so I listened to the opening bands before I go and like try to get familiar with their stuff. So so I would have to do that if I ever got into them.
Totally. Cool. Well, this song is pretty interesting, even by Gorillaz standards, I think. As far as I got to debut it at the beach there, so that was kind of fun just to like blast a new song, having no expectation of what the hell it was. I guess on the top, it was really nice just to have a song. I saw somebody post it. They kind of rumored it, like some kind of teaser thing about 2 weeks ago. And, at this point with anything Cure or Robert Smith with it, I was like, I'm not even going to let myself get excited about this. Even if I was a huge Gorillaz fan, I would not really. I'm just like, whatever, man. I'll believe it when I see it. But it was just so nice that something could get rumored and then like about 2 weeks later actually be out. I was like, oh, wow, there wasn't like a 4-year buildup or anything.
I feel like I saw somebody post the interview on Facebook somewhere. So I hit it and I started listening to it, and I listened to maybe 2 minutes of it, and I had to do something else and I forgot about it. And like thinking it was going to be out like in a couple months. Like I didn't know it was going to be like a couple days later, and like I saw like it coming up on all the Facebook Cure fan sites, like people posting it. I'm like they keep posting the interview over and over again, and then like, no, it's the video. So then I had to dive into it. But it was nice having it like actually like tangible within a couple days.
Yeah, done. Here it is. Like it or not, this is it. It's like, all right, sweet. That part of it made me love it even more than I probably initially did. I was just like, cool. It's like a finished thing. Awesome. But so maybe dive into the initial response. What'd you think of the tune on first listen? Did it change much by multiple listens?
The first Is it just me, or does it sound like it's starting off with the caterpillar?
It
Like, do
is
you hear
like
that? Do you
yeah,
hear
like
that?
little twinkly
Yeah.
piano part is very Caterpillar-esque and like
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be rad." And then
Yeah.
like it slowed down, and I was like, and then like once it dropped and like went into like the poppier dance sound, like I was really digging it at that point.
yeah.
But like that whole gap between the opening where I was really excited to like when it actually started going, like it died like my curiosity out.
Yeah.
But you know,
I felt the exact same way. Yeah, it was funny. I was
yeah,
like, was like,
I think that the video definitely carried it, where I was able to like something to have my attention while I was listening to the song.
yeah.
You know, rather
Yeah.
than I think if it was just a song, it would have lost me. But the video and watching the animation with it actually carried it over, where I was able to get to cross that bridge
Yeah.
and still be involved.
Yeah, for sure. And like we said, there's two versions that I feel like are noticeably different, and we'll kind of pick them apart.
I didn't even listen to the second version actually.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got to check it out.
I
Because
feel like Donald right now.
nah, yeah, do your homework, Jesus.
God damn it! I didn't even know there was a second version. I knew that I saw the track listing, but I didn't know that was released yet. I thought it was just like an upcoming, like this is what the whole album's gonna be. I didn't know the other track was released. Okay.
It took me a minute too, and I kind of just assumed by these kind of things, it's like, well, whatever, it's just gonna be like some extra beat in it, or you know what I mean, or like a 20-minute version, or like some overly long, like torn down kind of shit, or it's just like, okay, great, but like I'm sure it's not gonna be that drastically different, but yeah, actually, when I went back and focused on the second one, it's called The Strange Times Robert Smith Aurora Remix. So I don't know. So instead of saying featuring Robert Smith, they're saying it's the Robert Smith remix. So I don't know if he had like full remix control of it or not.
Oh, great. So he's wasting his time on that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. It totally crossed my mind. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. Because one of my complaints of the actual song is kind of like he just cranked that out, standing on his head. It's only like one small little kind of verse that he's singing that gets repeated, and it's kind of like, what? You got this collaboration with Robert Smith, and he just kind of sings one thing and you loop it, It's just like, all right, that seems like he could have like just sent that like 5 minutes before the track was due or something, But the remix, who knows? And the remix version has like a guitar part in it that isn't really in the other version, so it has like a bit more of like a guitar riff over it,
like a more rock sound.
Yeah, and more importantly, like what you said, the thing that bugged me about the official version more was that gap in the beginning where it's like has the cool little piano-y part, and then it goes into like kind of a torn down where he's singing without any music behind it almost. Yeah, and then it has like another part, and it is like this gap that's just kind of like, and you keep waiting for like that, that beat's just gonna drop somewhere, and it eventually does, but it just feels like it takes too long to get there. Yeah. And the remix doesn't. It kicks in pretty much immediately. It has a bit of a remix feel more than the other one, but I think it's 10 times better because it does kind of just drop in quick with the beat and gets you kind of moving to it. So definitely check that out. I think you'll like it better too. But it's pretty rad. But yeah, I was initially kind of meh because of that intro part, and then the idea that it kind of is like cut and paste Robert Smith part wherever you needed it, and it was like felt a little
in the interview he said that he had done it all over email.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would have to. I mean, most of the time, even non-quarantine collaborations these days are pretty much just like, send me the file, I'll do it. But I kind of wish he had just sang more, like at least had like a verse or something, like something that like kind of went into more than just he's singing the catchy chorus part or whatever. But
I respect to Gorillaz for like, actually doing work and pushing it out like during this time. And I mean,
I don't know.
It would mean a lot if The Cure would just drop this album. Like during this time period, like that's like what people need. And it just at least this is something. And you had the Roger O'Donnell solo album. And, the Record Store Day stuff, which is cool, but like, yeah, it just kind of bummed me out that I'm just like, yeah, this is what I have to listen to right now.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just like, and I feel like I am liking it more and more every listen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I do have, friends that are more legit, like Gorillaz fans, like all the albums that they like. And that was like a thing they said in passing. Was like, well, all Gorillaz stuff, other than those super like obvious catchy singles, were like they grow on you a lot, So it's kind of like, okay, maybe that is something. And I do feel like with every listen, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely digging this a bit more now, And it's like, I'll throw this on some mixes and stuff, It'll be a good one to just kind of drop in a Cure playlist somewhere, So it's like, okay. Or at least on par, if not better than other collaborations he's done, There's been.
I was going to say, it's not the worst collaboration he's done.
Right. Yeah, it's just definitely some of them have that feel where it's just like, okay, so do what? And, just kind of does the signature Robert Smith howl in there, but it's
yeah. Do you think that opening piano sound was done on? I just assume it was done on purpose. But like, is that the first track on the album? Because
according to the iTunes playlist, it's the first one on the album. So
I thought maybe it came in from the past track.
Nah,
like a carryover. But like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
they didn't say anything about it, so I'm kind of like wondering if that was. If that was something that Robert had a hand in, or if it was like an homage to the band from them, because it really sounded like the opening of Caterpillar.
Yeah,
like I that was the thing that caught my ear and like perked my ears up like a dog.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I was like, oh, this is cool and kind of slappy, and that little.
Yeah,
just got like all tangled in itself kind of feel. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
it was cool. Like, and the single version too has I'm assuming it's Damon, even though it doesn't really sound like him. It's like a talking kind of verse, sing rap talk kind of part that he's doing in there too.
Giving the looping dervish in the lodge is lost within the ringing. Far away, I can hear the sound of someone out there singing.
Yeah, but the Robert Smith remix one doesn't have that at all in there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's weird because that's like another part, which is kind of cool. Part of me does wish there was more of like a full-on just Damon singing with him and kind of thing to make it more of like more like a Blur collaboration. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And
I mean, on the official credits on Wikipedia. And that's, you got to take Wikipedia for what it is.
Yeah.
It says that Robert was involved in guitars, keyboard, bass, production, and songwriting.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard people say that too. And talking about it online, I saw it, which is awesome. So that if he is playing other instruments on it and stuff. So
yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, maybe that's just his kind of go-to piano-y sound there, and he's doing his own nod to
to himself.
Yeah,
nothing better than masturbation.
Yeah, why not? That's good.
Yeah. Now the video. How did you get lost at all in it? Like, did you know to really like see what was going on, or like? I mean, of course, after the second or third watch, you kind of get it, but like at the first, I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like there's Robert in the moon, and like, I was just like, "Was this the live from the moon?" That maybe he got confused and like accidentally dropped that, or
I don't know. I didn't really.
It was too weird to me.
Yeah, it's very odd, and like, I don't know if that was like connected, like you're saying, to this whole live from the moon business, or if it was his idea, or if that was just something just by coincidence happened to be a moon thing too. I think
or the rest of the band was like, you have to get this moon idea out of your fucking head. So you go do this. Just tell them you want to be the moon.
Yeah, and like the Mighty Boosh, that show, like there's a reference for that. I don't know if he's just deliberately with that. It's very unflattering and not a good idea, technically.
Oh, no,
it looks ridiculous, but it's like, his hair even looks really flat in the moon somehow. It's like not even like a big Robert. I don't know, but yeah, it's a terrible idea technically because it's like, one thing, obviously he's not going to be there, and but the whole premise of the band is that they're animated and shit, and it's cool artwork. I was like, how could you? How could you not embrace just making like a cool Gorillaz animation Robert Smith dude, with like pokey hair and shit, little monkey man Robert Smith or something? That'd be awesome. I was like, what the fuck? How did you miss this opportunity? But he's just up there floating around.
When I saw him in the moon, I was oh man,
I was like, whoa.
Like, please don't do this. Like, it's already done.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it, but I'm just saying, please don't do this. Like just have this like be like I'm imagining this right now. And,
I don't know what the logic.
I was disappointed with that. Like, you brought that up, but I was like, man, they could have done so much more with Robert Smith in this. And like, I assume that I want to say it's animated, but it could have been like him filming himself and then them sending it to them, and then they produce it. But like, I was just like, they definitely dropped the ball right there. Right. That would have been rad.
Especially because they, like I said, they're just a band based on, like, the videos are almost the coolest part of them, or it's just like, what the fuck? It was like, if that was just like, that was the video for any collaboration band, then it's like, fine, whatever. Most videos are kind of stupid, but at the same time, I was just like, oh, they're just kind of known for having these awesome videos, and the whole point is these cool animation. Why would you just have like the one person there that's not floating around on the moon?
And it's terrible. Like, it's terrible. Like, it looks bad.
Yeah.
Like, I would have like, they should have had him look like the Mac Tonight guy from the McDonald's commercials.
Yeah, almost make it even goofier if you're gonna go that way. Like, just go full fucking goofy. Because it totally looks to me like he filmed himself in front of his Skype kind of thing, and then they just took that file and just blew it up into like a bad Photoshop on the moon there. it's like, what?
And it's like, it's almost like he's like I was thinking about this when I was watching the video, and I felt bad, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like, I feel like he's like almost like a meme of himself now. Like, he's not.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, it's dude, you're like, I don't know. Like, you're like 70 years old. Like it's. I get the image and everything, but like, I feel like he's like that child actor that never broke out of a shell of like replaying the same person. I'm not saying he's got to change the way he looks or anything, but just the video itself, it's like, yeah, we get it. You're the guy with the lipstick and the crazy hair.
Yeah, and it just kind of accents all that a little too much when there's more to him than that, for sure. Yeah, and it's just a big, giant, round head. It's like, that's like I said, I felt bad even saying it was unflattering, but it's just like, you could take 20-year-old Robert Smith and blow him up into the size of the moon head, and it'd be unflattering. It doesn't. It's not like he's just a big round head floating around in space. It's like, come on, guys, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So who knows? But I'm assuming he was down with the idea. He wouldn't be like, "Whoa, what the hell? You put me in the moon?" But so who knows? But
yeah. I mean, other than that image of him like in the moon, I think the video overall was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're just flying around there, Winnebago, I guess, and I didn't really catch, like, they never really land on the moon or anything, do they? Or maybe I just got kind of lost at that point. So
they go on the moon and they spin the wheels of the back of the Winnebago, so it all goes in like circles, and they spill out "Be the Change" on the surface of the moon. So,
all right,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely
statement.
That's a brave statement.
It's
like when I say "fuck Nazis." It's
exactly. Fly the moon, write it on the moon.
Yeah,
but I think it's a cool song for what it is. I don't think it's gonna be a huge Gorillaz #1 hit by any means, but
no, but it's cool as a video. I mean, it's cool overall. There could have been a Korn port too, that they could have done, and That would have just made me sad.
Yeah, exactly. As far as collaborations go, definitely down with pairing up there. And like I said, it's different at least too, so it wasn't like super obvious. So I would be like,
Yeah.
well, okay, Gorillaz, cool. Just in the sense I never really know what anybody thinks of like Damon, as kind of a, love him or
Yeah.
hate him kind of dude too, or it's just like, oh wow, I would never imagine Robert being cool with him, but it's like, okay, I'm sure they're not like total golf buddies or anything, but at the same time, who knows?
I mean, they're British musicians, so
Yeah, I'm sure they got.
don't they all know everybody?
Exactly. They all hate each other and they all love
Yeah.
each other. So, but yeah, pretty cool. Well, I guess the other major snippet aside from the song even was when this got debuted on Lamax. Is that how we decide to pronounce his name?
I guess so.
Lamac.
Lamac.
Lamac. On BBC Radio 6. There was a little short interview, and the majority of it was Damon and Robert just kind of talking about the song and how they kind of pieced it together, and he was sent him the pieces. It sounded like Robert kind of sat on it for a little while, surprise, and didn't.
I've never heard of him doing that before.
Yeah.
He usually gets that shit done like right away.
Yeah, totally. But he went out and stared at the stars apparently for a few hours and got inspired and finished it up. And he said he'd been working on the new album, the new Cure album, and they're in the middle of like a 10-minute, I think he said the closer, but maybe I imagine that part, like the 10-minute long super gloom finale of the new album.
Yeah.
So it was a nice break from that where you got to do something kind of fun so there was like 3 giant nuggets that we could dive into real quick. Is
it apparently derailed the whole entire album, and we still don't have it. Thanks, Gorillaz.
Thanks, Gorillaz. But it's like, no, I just wasn't sad anymore, so I didn't want to. I was like, oh, Jesus. But finishing the new Cure album, finishing the solo album, and digitizing footage for Tim Pope documentary. So. Real quick, let's take one of those oh my, wait a minute. Okay, finishing the album. Jesus Christ, whatever, dude. At this point, nobody wants to believe anything. But the weird part is now everyone's reposting the highlights from that interview saying the new album's finished.
Yeah,
like,
I
done,
know.
done. And it's not. He didn't say, he said he wanted to reserve this year, like pandemic or not, I think, to finishing the new album. And it's been good because he's been able to focus on that. So he says finishing the album. He still never said in that interview that the fucking thing's like totally done. So
yeah, I haven't been a Cure fan as long as you or some other people that listen to the show, but how many times does this guy got to tell you some information that you take as gospel before you start like rejecting it? Like it's just like I'm not saying like flat out call him a liar, but like it's not ready. It's not coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like it's September already. Like it's like when we're recording this, and like it's not it's not coming out in 2020. And it upset me in the interview when he said for 2020 his plans were to finish a new album, and he didn't mention anything about touring.
Yeah.
So that was like that made me really upset. Like I was reading between the lines, which is probably dumb of me just because I'm contradicting myself. But like I didn't hear him say like, yeah, we were working on putting a new album out and going on tour to support it, and like that just was like
right.
So
yeah, he never was all like, we had all these plans ready to go, and then the pandemic. It was like, nope, you never were planning on touring this because you knew the album wasn't going to be finished. So,
yeah.
But,
I mean, great if you like. I don't know, like if it took a pandemic for you to get the album done and finish the DVD or whatever you're working on and finish your solo album, cool. Mm-hmm. From what we discovered, the solo album's already been done for years, but
we'll get to that one in a second. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess the positive, falling for the trap of still caring and believing anything he's saying. At least he's still working on the album, whether it's totally finished or final stages. Like I was leaning towards at this point, we're never gonna hear about it again. Like the whole thing's just gonna get scrapped. Even I was really starting to feel like it was heading into that territory where he's gonna be like, well, it was just a different time when I made that album, and now, you know, it was just gonna be one of those things. But at least in that regards, you know, he's still feeding the machine there, saying, oh yeah, it's totally just putting the final touches on the mix. So,
I will say one positive that I've taken out of the interview was that it sounds like he is socially distancing, and it sounds like he is isolating, which probably is nothing new for him. But I want him as far away from anybody sick or carrying this as possible.
True.
I'm sure all those years of eating candy bars would not hold up pretty well against the coronavirus. So I don't. That's good. Yeah.
Like you said, it's probably not been the hardest part for him during this. Is
probably
isolating and staying away from people. But yes, totally agree. Safety first.
And like he was talking on the interview with the guy from the Gorillaz, and they were, you know, they didn't meet at all. They didn't hang out, and it was just all done through email, and which, you know, cool. I'm glad they did that, and I'm glad that he's staying away from people, both of them. So
exactly. So yeah. Pretty good. So the second nugget was a totally what the fuck, really, even though it wasn't shocking when I initially heard it, but he dropped the whole solo album. But that was never even one of the three ideas, was it? Or did I just block all the three albums when he went into that territory of the new one? He said it was like a noise record, a solo one, and then it was never considered a solo album, was it?
I don't remember him saying solo when he said the three albums the band was going to release. But now that we're talking about it, it sounds like it might have been, if this is true. So who the fuck knows? But like, it could be the Cure album, and then the solo album, then the DVD or the movie.
Yeah, maybe that was the
which
three.
Could be a / soundtrack to it. You know, could have been the third album.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I mean, we haven't heard anything from Tim Pope at all, so I don't know. So.
But how weird is that with the solo thing after we just did that episode? Yeah. You know, I almost felt stupid for bringing that episode up because it was like he hadn't really mentioned the solo album since like 2000 or something. Yeah. You know, it was like I felt kind of goofy that we were harping on this solo album, and here it is. It's got a whole new chapter and rebirth. And
he's got his ear to the ground.
Yeah, maybe we gave him the idea.
He's just putting his ear on the train rail. And just listening.
But based on what we said in that episode, too, I mean, we were all leaning towards if we ever hear a Robert Smith solo album, it's going to be probably the 88 one or 83, like remastered or, you know, pieced together a little better and worked on. But I didn't get that vibe at all from this. Like, I think he would have dropped that this was just an old album he was finishing up.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. Like,
unless he re-sang maybe the old shit, and you know, which he probably would do, I guess, if he dug it up and liked it. Maybe he took some of those songs and re-sang them in this time off while he's singing the other one and stuff. But I got the vibe more. It was like a new thing, which. It's funny now because at the end of that episode, we're all like, as long as it's nothing new.
And now, right now, I'm like, fuck it, just do it. Just
totally.
Just drop it. You know, whatever. It is what it is. You know, like I was, I'm confused. Like not confused, but I'm more interested than anything. Like, is this stuff sitting in the studio, just sitting there, like waiting for him to add X, Y, and Z to it from 30 years ago or 40 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. Or is like, it totally 100% new shit that he just came up with in between? So who knows?
Which you think would have just ended up on the Cure album to begin with.
Yeah, like what the fuck? They can't be that picky at this point. You know, like we said in that episode, it's not like they haven't heard every possible variation of what Robert Smith could write at this point. You know, we've heard it all. So it's like... But we'll see. Won't matter anyway. We'll never hear it. But and then that last nugget of digitizing the footage, which we did initially hear way back when he started talking about this Tim Pope documentary. Was that like 2 years ago now or something? It was like, so this one we're still not gonna fucking see if he's sitting there transferring the tapes to digital himself, which is weird. Doesn't he have like an intern that could do that? I mean,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that Tim Pope's in charge of all that. I mean, I have more faith in him actually finishing it up and getting it out than Robert doing it. But I assume
probably.
Yeah, I assume that Tim Pope has a majority of everything that he would need to make a documentary. And if he doesn't have it, I'm sure he could get it,
Yeah.
So I think that would be more or less like a home video sort of thing, or like straight up interviews. But then again, I'm sure he has interview material dating back, to the late 70s of the band. So, yeah.
Sure. And like you said, though, it does sting a little bit. As awesome as this will be, this one totally feels like we're not going to see this for at least 3 more years at best. It's like if he's got like this almost finished Cure album sitting there and he's like going through old home movies and shit, it's like, just fucking hit pause, man. Finish the album. Come on. One at a time. Let's stay focused there. So it's like, jeez. Cool. So yeah, digitizing the footage. So all of them, very cool if they happen. Who knows which one's closest to the finish line, but that's why I guess, again, to pull it full circle and start wrangling in the idea that this Strange Time single was out, and just good to hear anything with him on there. He's sounding good. Didn't sound like his voice was weak and he was somehow fading away or anything.
Yeah, his voice sounded great in on the song, and I mean, maybe all he needed was a complete world shutdown to like do his work. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of what he was acting like in the video, in the interview. He was all like, "This has been great. I've been able to get some shit done," and which I'm assuming like those festival tours and any kind of playing live and shit does probably. I'm sure he gets bombarded with tons of stuff that we don't even hear about, as far as like they said in the interview too, of how many people probably do try to collaborate with him constantly now and stuff, but
I really like that part of the interview, because he was like, you'd be surprised how many people contact me to do collaborations with them that sound nothing like whatever the Cure sounds like it's like he's like, you were joking about like what is it, Swedish death metal or Hungarian death metal band or whatever. And he's just like, you wouldn't believe how many groups I get that are completely out of our genre that want to do collaborations with me. And I'm just like, that's awesome. Like that's cool. A true testament to what type of performer and artist people think you are. So
yeah, for sure.
So.
And again, because their style is so all over the place too, and appeals to so many different things that you're not just getting some knockoff, rehashed kids trying to just do that whatever era of the Cure, even. I mean, like you said, though, it's a good testament to the band and how diverse they are, and it's not a specific sound even, that everyone could just stereotype or put into any specific genre constantly. So
because
cool.
When those death metal guys are like walking the forest, they're listening to Friday I'm in Love, and it's
totally
and then they pop in pornography or whatever, and then they so it's I don't know of very many Cure fans other maybe than Donald that are like, I stop at this point.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add on to this one, or anything you want to just throw out there while we got a kind of bonus episode?
Register to vote. Help work at polling stations if you can. If you can't, do whatever you can. That's all I have to say. Stay safe and protect each other and get each other's backs, and that's it's not going to get any easier.
No.
Yeah, that's my message of positivity.
Sounds good, man. I'll take it at this point. Sounds good. Yeah, in every degree out there, stay safe for sure, and watch out for those fires are sounding nuts now.
Yeah,
jeez.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be.
Yeah, much love and positive thoughts going out to everybody we know on the West Coast. That's it's It's amazing everything that's going on right now, and we're living right in the middle of it. So, yeah. So.
Well, keep hanging in there. Hopefully that magic key will turn on New Year's Eve, right? Everything's going to be better in 2021.
I've heard that it's going to be better the day after the election.
Yeah, I didn't want to jinx anything.
This hoax is finally going to end, and
Let's see. I'll take either one. So.
yeah.
Cool. Well, I strongly recommend going out and listening to both versions of this song, and let us know if anyone out there has a strong opinion one way or the other on either version, or maybe we're just crazy and it's the same. But
listen, it's gonna give you like a 30-second bright spot of your day.
Exactly.
I mean, at least some of the video will. Or the song. So it'll get you shaking a little bit, and it'll, even if you just need that little 10, 15, 20 seconds, it's all good. So I endorse it.
Yeah, me too. So for whatever reason, that video will get you.
Yeah.
For better and worse. Cool deal. All right, man. Well, thanks so much, Chaz. We'll wrap up there, and we'll be back soon with a full Holy Hour madness to see what we can wrangle up. So take it easy, and you guys out there, talk hard.